It's time to get our semi on. Today we have Bayer Lerverkusen in the Europa League Semi Final. Let's see how we get on. Welcome back to Leeds United, Pride of Yorkshire. So in yesterday's episode, we picked up 4 valuable points in our race for a Champions League place. We had a 2-2 draw with Everton, where we salvaged a point late on. And we also had an impressive 3-1 victory against Tottenham Hotspur to keep us in 4th place. So today is going to be all about the Europa League. Let's have a little look at how we have progressed through the competition so far. So in our group stage, we were in Group F with Atalanta, Rangers and Luzern. We came out of the group, played 6, won 4, drawn 1, lost 1. Scored 17, conceded 10, the goal difference 7 and 13 points. So the main games that we played, we lost 5-2 to Atalanta on the road in our only loss. Drew 0-0 with Atalanta at home, and we swept aside Rangers and Luzern with pretty much easily. So let's see the second knockout round, because I don't think we played in the first one. We faced off against Dynamo Kiev, had a 4-0 win there. Pretty straightforwards. The next stage of the competition was the quarter-finals. We played against Nice. We lost 1-0 in France before winning 4-1 at home to progress with a 4-2 aggregate score. And that brings us on to today's semi-final, where we are going to be facing off against Bayer Lerverkusen. So, with that all up to date, let's see how we get on in our first leg of the semi-final. So then, this is the lineup that we are going to be putting out for the first part of our semi-double header. We are going to have Meslier in goal, Wove, Ahmed Hodzic, Llorente and Minaya at the back. We've got Bentancur and Phillips as the DLP and the BBM. We have James, Brandt and Rafinha across the middle, with Sesko going to be playing up front. Fingers crossed, this is going to be the lineup that will take us to victory in the first part of the semi-double. 19 minutes on the clock then, and the first piece of action is a throw-in for Leverkusen. They're playing it forwards with Frimpong down the right. He crosses it in and Llorente deals with it, smashes it away, but it's going to come back towards us as Tapsoba moves the ball forward, finds Frimpong. Schick is there with the ball over. Minaya deals with it, and Calvin Phillips is going to have a chance to break away here. Needs to pick the pass carefully. Finds Rafinha out on the right. He beats his man, sits him down. He's going to cut the ball across. Brandt has the shot, and I think it smashes off of our own player. And Florian Wirtz, who is one of the potential superstars of FM22, recovered on the channel, broke the ball away. And then it's straight into the next piece of action. Schick finds Sarr. He's going to go outside of his man and just leave him for dead. Gets into the box. He's had the shot. Meslier is there to deal with it and pushes it around for a corner. Let's see what happens from the corner. It's going to be swung in by Kerem Demirbay. I think that says Demirbay. And the corner comes to nothing. Corner of our own now, and Rafinha swings this one in. Goes to the near post. Can't do anything as Schick heads it away. But he plays it back to Calvin Phillips. The shot was going in the top corner. It's headed away by the defender. And Frimpong is on the attack now. But Schick gets caught in possession. Brandt has the chance to play the ball out to Daniel James. Takes him a little bit wide. Let's see what he does when he cuts back. He crosses it in, and there is Sesko. And for a split second, I thought the ball was in the back of the net. Instead, it is out for a goal kick. And straight from that goal kick, Leverkusen lumped the ball straight to Wove. He's going to come forwards with it. He plays it up the line to James, who stops, comes back inside, and we're now going to knock it about in the middle of the park. Llorente out to Minaya, plays it out to Rafinha, who plays it over the top. Sesko is in behind, and this time Sesko gives us the lead. I don't think there's going to be a VAR check, despite the goalkeeper's protests. And Benjamin Sesko does what he does best and scores the first goal of the game. So let's have a little look at this. As the ball comes down here, Llorente plays it out to Minaya, plays it to Rafinha. First time ball over the top. Sesko must have just timed his run perfectly because he's in behind. He tucks it into the far corner to give us a 1-0 lead. A throw in then down here on the right hand side as Minaya plays it to Brandt. Gives it back to Minaya, who crosses it in. There's Wove at the back post. It hits the crossbar and falls onto the head of Sesko. He heads it into the net. VAR is looking at this one. happened oh so quick. I think the goal should be given, really. There was enough players in and around him. Our players are celebrating, but for no reason, as the goal is disallowed. It was actually Rafinha, I think. So Woba with the header, but that is so close. I'm not too sure about that one. I wish we could like delve into these, switch the cameras around, and have a look straight across that line, because Rafinha definitely looked onside. But we're in 1-0. It's half time. We have been absolutely beating Bayer Leverkusen up. I know they had that chance early on, but we've had 18 shots, 7 on target. We're just going to roll the lads out and tell them to keep doing what they're doing, and hopefully in the second half we'll score a few more goals. Goal kick then with Bayer Leverkusen, and the goalkeeper smashes it forwards. Only finds Woba, who finds Daniel James. Ball back to Woba, into Brandt, who turns his man, plays it up the line for Sesko. He then stops, turns, plays it across the box, and Rafinha has missed a tap-in from a yard out. I can't believe it's not 2-0. 72 on the clock. We're going to dive onto the substitutes bench. We are going to replace Rafinha and give him a little rest after his miss. And we are going to bring on Jens Kajust in the middle for Calvin Phillips, give him a little bit of a rest. Let's see if that makes any difference as we look to try and double our lead against Bayer Leverkusen. Corner for Leverkusen as they swing it in, looking for an away goal. And Tapsoba has headed it over the bar from inside the penalty area. Goal kick then, and Meslier plays it to Bentancur. Plays it back to Meslier. It's out to Minaya. He's going to run at his man, but stops to check inside. Plays a 1-2 with Kajust before Thiago Thomas with the ball over the top for Sesko. He's in behind. He could have had the shot, really. Instead, plays it back to Thiago Thomas. Heads it across the goal. Daniel James has headed it in. I think this one's coming back for a VAR again. He did seem to be ahead of the man at the back post. Walking away. VAR check is in progress. And goal is awarded. This one I thought was offside. The last one I thought was onside. But when Sesko turns back here, plays the ball quite deep, Thiago Thomas has the challenge. Daniel James heads it in. He looks miles offside this time, but we don't care. It's 2-0. And that's exactly what we were looking for. And again, Bentancur with a free kick in. If we could get a third here before the end, that would give us such a cushion to go to Germany with. Kajust turns, plays it up over to Daniel James. He then lays it into the path of Woba, who has the shot, and it beats the goalkeeper from the edge of the box. Goalkeeper there was absolutely dreadful. Max Woba, though, gets his first ever Leeds United goal, and that is brilliantly drilled into the far corner. So Kajust plays it to James. Jens Kajust is having a big influence on this team, certainly off of the bench. What the goalkeeper's doing there, I do not know, and I do not care. It's 3-0. So then, first part of the semis out the way, we have a 3-0 win at home against Leverkusen, and we are now looking good, or hopefully looking good, for getting a place in the final. Once we go to Germany, we will see what happens there. But if we play like we played today, it shouldn't be too much of a difficult thing. We have had 29 shots, 12 of which on target, a 3 XG. We have played really well, and we enjoyed ourselves on the night. So let's push forward, show you what happens in the second semi, and hopefully book our place in that. After we played against Bayer Leverkusen in the first leg of the semi-final, we are also chasing the top four, and we had a Premier League game in between these two semi-finals. So let's show you how we got on in that game. We had a bit of a mad draw with Wolverhampton Wanderers where it was 2-2. Yusuf Poulsen giving them the lead early on before Halozek equalised. Traore then went up the other end and made it 2-1 before Halozek himself took a penalty to make it 2-2. A game where it was pretty much 50-50 for the whole game, and I think a point was a fair result. We had a chance to nick it right at the end through Kajust. Couldn't take 3 points, and we are happy to get out of Wolverhampton with a point. So in terms of the Premier League table, that now leaves us in 4th place still, 3 points ahead of Chelsea, who have played a game more, and we are 4 points behind Manchester United, who have also played a game more. So there's still hope that we are on for that top 4 finish. So let's get straight into the semi-final part 2, the second leg, and the lineup that we are going to put out is Meslier in goal, Firpo, Woba, Llorente and Minaya, Bentancur and Phillips. We then have James, Brandt and Rafinha with Sesko up top. Let's do this. Let's make the final and get into our first Europa League final of the save. Straight from kickoff then, Sesko plays the ball to Wove. He moves forwards with the ball, goes to Lorente. Manea picks it up into Rafinha. Ball over the top. Sesko's not going to get there. And Frimpong plays it back to the goalkeeper. They're knocking it around at the back here though, Leverkusen. So let's see what happens. Big ball up and over the top. And Wove heads it straight back to Meslier. So we're going to build up from the back again here as Manea plays it to Rafinha. Plays it to Phillips. Ball over the top again is cut out. And now it's just a game of tennis, really. Back and forth, back and forth. Here comes Frimpong down the right, crosses it in. Luckily for us, Schick hits it straight at Meslier. 51 seconds on the clock. Another highlight here then as we build out from the back. Manea plays it to Rafinha. He then tries to play it back to Manea. It gets intercepted. Ilario is in. Luckily for us, they have had the two biggest chances of the game so far and missed them both. Another corner though, they are piling the pressure on, and finally they break the resistance as Tapsoba scores with a header from a corner. And this is a little bit slack defending. We might need to watch ourselves here. Frimpong with the ball in. Tapsoba. Meslier is really just jumping at shadows, and the ball is in the net. Again, straight from kickoff. Sesko to Wove to Lorente to Brandt. Manea gets the ball now. We looked so comfortable in the last game. Let's hope we could get an away goal here, but the ball is loose and it goes through to a Leverkusen player, Tolisso, but his ball is intercepted. Phillips with the ball over the top. Sesko with the take. Sesko with the equaliser and the away goal to get us back into this game, but put us back with a 3-goal lead in the tie. And that is a brilliant ball over the top and take. Let's have a little look at this again. So Tolisso plays the ball forward, it gets intercepted by Wove. Phillips then with the ball over the top. Sesko with the take. Goalkeeper's down low, but Sesko puts it past him. We're in at half time then, and the score is 1-1. So we have had most of the shots, not a lot on target, but we have a away goal vitally, which puts us in command of this tie. Let's just push into the second half and see how we get on. Hopefully we continue in the form we are in, and the Europa League final awaits us. A free kick then at the back as Wove plays it to Firpo. He plays it all the way back to Meslier. Out to Manea, who takes it really well. Runs up the line and gives it to Rafinha. He's going to look to beat his man. Gets to almost to the byline. Balls into the box. Phillips goes to ground. Can't believe there was nothing given there. The VAR are going to look at this. The way he went to ground there suggested that he was actually brought down, not went over. No penalty though. Does that mean that he's going to get a yellow card for simulation? Not too sure if that exists in this game, but now the referee looked as if he was standing having a conversation with the goalkeeper, who smashes it straight forward to Phillips, plays it into Rafinha. He crosses it in there, Sesko, and Sesko gives us a 2-1 lead with his 24th goal of the season. If you don't give us a penalty, we'll just take the 2-1 lead instead. So yeah, the goal kick went straight to Phillips. He then puts it forwards into the path of Rafinha, who stops, turns back, crosses it to Sesko, who nutmegs the defender, puts it into the far corner, and we are 2-1 up. 67 minutes on the clock. Junior Firpo has started to struggle, so he will be coming off for Vojvoda, and we are also going to bring Jens Kajust on in place of Bentancur. See if we can't see this game out. In fact, I'm going to bring on Thiago Thomas up front as well. Sesko's done his bit. Let's see if we can't get the last 23 minutes done as well. Free kick then, and Hradecki plays it forwards. Gets intercepted though. Thiago Thomas with the ball. Tries to find Rafinha. Gets cut out. And now Schick is turning. Lorente with the tackle. And Sarr is running at us. Schick has been left in behind. Meslier needs to stand up tall. He does, but Schick puts the ball past him. And it's 2-2 in the tie. 5-2 now with 20 minutes left to go. And Schick really takes this well. Sarr with a great ball in behind. Schick's left all alone. And all of a sudden, it's 2-2 in the game. Corner kick then, Rafinha to swing it in. Aims to the near post. Schick deals with it. Rafinha tries to get back on the ball, but it's lumped away as far as Manea. He plays it to Phillips, but it's intercepted by Sarr. And all of a sudden, we're a bit vulnerable here. He's running at us. Vojvoda with the tackle. Frimpong picks it up, though. He just can't get the ball and keep it. Plays it to Palacios, who plays it to Wirtz. He plays it into the path of Sarr. Luckily for us, Manea is there to deal with it. Melié's kick, though, is intercepted again by Wirtz, and Alario is in. He's hit the post this time, and we have gotten away with one there. But the attack's not over as Wirtz brings it forwards. Palacios plays it back to Tapsoba, back to Palacios. Wirtz is pulling the strings here. Sarr on the ball, crosses it in. It's a bit too deep, but Alario is saying he's been pushed. They're going to have a look at this one for a penalty. Let's see what the VAR decide this time. VAR check in progress. A penalty has been awarded, so a chance here for Leverkusen to give themselves a slight lifeline with 14 minutes left on the clock. As Tapsoba steps up and smashes it home. Isn't he a centre-back? That is an absolutely commanding goal. He's only scored 2 goals this season, both of them in this game. One with a header, one with a penalty. All of a sudden it's 3-2 and we're 5-3 up in the tie. So 10 minutes left to go. I think we're going to drop back away from the positive. We're going to drop into a balanced formation and see what happens. Luckily for us, nothing else does happen, and that is us punching our ticket to Europa League final. Not the result we wanted on the night, a 3-2 loss, but a 5-3 win on aggregate puts us through into our first final of the series. We are absolutely chuffed to have got there as well. Played some brilliant football along the way. So let's jump back to the home screen and show you when the final is and see if we can work out who we're going to be playing. Here we are then, this is confirmation that we are in the Europa League final and we see a team that we absolutely did not want to see in the final. So we will be playing at the Puskás Arena in Hungary on the 25th of May against Chelsea, our Premier League opponents. So an all-English final in the Europa League, and that is something to look forward to at least in terms of being in our first final. So let's have a little look at what is happening in terms of the schedule. We have a total of we have 4 Premier League games left to go, and we have that Europa League final. Got confused there because obviously Chelsea Premier League. Yeah, 4 Premier League games to go with the Europa League final to end off the season. So I think I'm going to play against Aston Villa and Norwich off screen. We'll come back for the Brighton and Brentford games at the end of the season and see if we can qualify for the Champions League firstly through the Premier League by finishing 4th, and then if we can't, see if we can beat Chelsea in a final to qualify for the Champions League through the Europa League final. Another episode comes to a successful conclusion then as we punch our ticket for the Europa League final in Hungary. Shame we have to face off against Chelsea. Was looking forward to facing somebody maybe of continental opposition, but we have played well against Chelsea in the Premier League so far and are above them in the table, so we have a lot of optimism going into the final. So as I said, we are going to push forward now and come to the conclusion of the Premier League season as we look to finish inside the top 4 for the first time and also win that Europa League final. So the last thing to ask, if you are still watching the video at this point and you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit the subscribe and like button to help the channel out. I appreciate everybody who has done that so far. In the past months doing YouTube have been an absolute pleasure. So for this one, I'm going to wrap it there. A big thank you for watching and I'll catch you on the next episode of Leeds United, Pride of Yorkshire.